the mysterious handbags. The ancient Sumerian civilization was one of the earliest civilizations in human history, and it was known for its remarkable achievements in the fields of agriculture, architecture, and art. One of the most intriguing aspects of Sumerian art is the depiction of their gods and goddesses carrying handbags or purses. These handbags are often depicted as being carried by both male and female deities, and they are depicted in a variety of shapes and sizes. They are typically shown as being held in the hand of the god or goddess, and they are often decorated with intricate patterns and designs. The exact significance of these handbags is not fully understood, as there is very little written information about them. However, scholars have proposed several theories as to their meaning and function. One theory is that these handbags symbolize the power and wealth of the gods and goddesses. In ancient Sumerian society, handbags were often used as a symbol of status and wealth, and it is possible that the gods and goddesses were depicted carrying them to emphasize their importance and power. Another theory is that these handbags represent the sacred knowledge or secrets of the gods and goddesses. In ancient Sumerian religion, knowledge was considered to be a sacred and valuable commodity, and it is possible that these handbags symbolized the gods and goddesses' possession of this knowledge. A third theory is that these handbags represent the gods and goddesses' ability to provide for their worshippers. In ancient Sumerian society, handbags were often used to carry food, water, and other essential items, and it is possible that the gods and goddesses were depicted carrying them to symbolize their ability to provide for their worshippers. It has been seen in images created by the Sumerians, in ancient temples in Turkey, in work crafted by the Maori in New Zealand, and in Central America, made by the Olmecs. So, with this so-called handbag spanning such a great geographical coverage, it should be no surprise that it has made frequent occurrences throughout time too, with our earliest known record of it dating back to the end of the Ice Age. So, with plenty of time to have attempted to decipher it, what do researchers think the ancient world was telling us with this handbag symbol? The symbol has earned itself the handbag nickname since it does resemble how we might draw a bag in the modern day. In most of the instances in which we see it, the symbol has a rounded semicircle top, giving it a handle-like appearance, and then we see a rectangular bottom. Researchers have noted that sometimes extra details appear that seem to indicate some textures or patterns. Adding to the handbag connotations, the symbol has been shown in the hand of various people, gods, and mythical entities. It often does occur as a single image. One theory that has been posed describes the handbag to be representative of the cosmos. We already know that in many ancient societies, across a somewhat broad geographical scope, a circle has been used to portray the spiritual world, or much more broadly, non-material concepts and beliefs. Therefore, the semicircle or the rounded handle of the handbag could be the world of spirituality, and the rectangular base of the bag, the earth. The joined nature in these theories acts as a symbol of the material and non-material worlds, the earth and the sky, becoming unified either once again or for the first time, dependent upon each ancient culture's beliefs. Regardless of their exact meaning, these handbags are a fascinating and unique aspect of ancient Sumerian art. They provide a glimpse into the beliefs and values of this ancient civilization, and they raise important questions about the role of symbolism and iconography in ancient art. It is worth noting that these handbags are not unique to Sumerian art, and similar depictions can be found in the art of other ancient civilizations. For example, in ancient Egyptian art, the goddess Isis is often depicted carrying a handbag or satchel, which is said to contain the severed head of her husband Osiris. Similarly, in ancient Greek art, the goddess Athena is often depicted carrying a handbag or purse, which is said to contain her most valuable possessions. These similarities suggest that the symbolism of handbags and purses may have been a widespread and universal motif in ancient art. As of right now, the handbags seen being carried by ancient Sumerian gods and goddesses are a fascinating and unique aspect of this ancient civilization's art. Although their exact meaning is not fully understood, scholars have proposed several theories as to their significance, including as a symbol of power and wealth, a representation of sacred knowledge, and a symbol of the gods and goddesses' ability to provide for their worshippers. These handbags are a testament to the enduring power of symbolism and iconography in art, and they provide a glimpse into the beliefs and values of one of the earliest civilizations in human history. The origins of human beings. Religion versus science is a never-ending debate when it comes to the topic of the creation of life on Earth. Ancient civilizations did not have the same concept of religion as we do in the modern day, but they did have gods and divine theories of creation. The Sumerians were spiritual people, and whilst much of their civilization was based upon never-before-seen advances in human society, they did believe strongly in the all-being and all-seeing. In fact, the Sumerians split themselves into cities each guarded by a god, of which they had many. The Sumerians' myth of the creation of the world, referred to at times as the Enuma Elish, refers to human gods ruling the earth as it began. They did the labor that was required to make the world suitable for human civilization, such as mining minerals, cultivating the soil. The tablet upon which the myth is inscribed was discovered in 1849 by English archaeologist Austin Henry Lanyard. It lay in the ruins of the Library of Ashurbanipal, which was located in northern Iraq, thought to be part of the area of the Middle East that Sumerian civilization grew from. But the tablet explains that the gods quickly grew tired of their labor, and Anu, the god of the gods, decided that they needed a hand. They then created man to labor for them by sacrificing a god and mixing his blood with clay. This is an idea that the Sumerians believed in devoutly, as they truly viewed themselves as lesser than the gods. The Sumerian myth then draws parallels with Christianity, saying that the first man was created in Eden. This was the garden referred to in the Epic of Gilgamesh that was home to the gods. However, some of the gods realized that humans could not reproduce and thus gave them the ability to do so. But this did not go down well between the gods, and a conflict ensued between them. Scholars point to similarities between this story and that of Adam and Eve, but it's not been verified as to whether this served as a basis for the Christian story. As such, the intrigue surrounding the creation of life goes on. The Epic of Gilgamesh. The Epic of Gilgamesh is an ancient epic poem from Mesopotamia that tells the story of Gilgamesh, a historical king of the city-state of Uruk, and his adventures and quests for immortality. It is one of the earliest known works of literature, dating back to the 3rd millennium BCE. The epic is divided into 12 tablets, each of which tells a different part of the story of Gilgamesh. The first tablet introduces the character of Gilgamesh, describing him as a powerful and arrogant king who is feared and respected by his people. The second tablet tells the story of Enkidu, a wild man who is created by the gods to serve as a rival to Gilgamesh. The third and fourth tablets describe the friendship that develops between Gilgamesh and Enkidu as they embark on a series of adventures together. They slay the monster Humbaba, guardian of the cedar forest, and take out the bull of heaven, which has been sent to punish Gilgamesh for spurning the advances of the goddess Ishtar. In the fifth and sixth tablets, Gilgamesh mourns the passing of Enkidu, who is taken out by the gods as punishment for taking out the bull of heaven. In his grief, Gilgamesh becomes obsessed with the idea of immortality and sets out on a quest to find the secret of eternal life. In the seventh and eighth tablets, Gilgamesh travels to the end of the world, where he meets Utnapishtim, a man who has been granted eternal life by the gods. Utnapishtim tells Gilgamesh the story of the Great Flood, which was sent by the gods to destroy all life on earth. He also gives Gilgamesh a test of his worthiness for eternal life, which he fails. In the 9th and 10th tablets, Gilgamesh returns to Uruk, where he reflects on his experiences and comes to accept his mortality. In the 11th tablet, he is shown a vision of the underworld, where he sees the souls of those who've passed and learns the fate that awaits him after his passing. In the 12th and final tablet, Gilgamesh returns to Uruk, where he is hailed as a hero and a great king. He is remembered as a powerful ruler who brought prosperity to his people, but also as a flawed and mortal human being who learned the value of humility and acceptance. The Epic of Gilgamesh is an important work of literature for several reasons. First, it is one of the earliest known works of literature and provides a glimpse into the culture and beliefs of ancient Mesopotamia. It also explores important themes and ideas that are still relevant today, such as the quest for immortality, the nature of friendship, and the acceptance of mortality. The epic also has a significant influence on later works of literature. It has been suggested that the story of Gilgamesh may have influenced the stories of other ancient epics. It has also been cited as an influence on later works of literature, such as the biblical story of Noah's Ark. As of right now, the Epic of Gilgamesh is an important work of literature that provides a glimpse into the culture and beliefs of ancient Mesopotamia. It explores important themes and ideas that are still relevant today and has had a significant influence on later works of literature. It is a testament to the enduring power of storytelling and a reminder of the rich literary heritage of the ancient world. The Sumerian Great Flood. The ancient Sumerian Great Flood is a mythological event that is believed to have inspired the story of Noah's Ark in the Bible. According to Sumerian mythology, the Great Flood was a catastrophic event that destroyed most of the known world and was caused by the anger of the gods. The Sumerian story of the Great Flood begins with the gods growing angry with humanity due to their disobedience and arrogance. The god Enlil decided to send a massive flood to destroy all life on Earth, with the exception of one man named Ziusudra, also known as Utnapishtim or Atrahasis. Ziusudra was warned of the impending flood by the god Enki, who instructed him to build a large boat in order to survive the flood. The boat was to be made of bitumen and covered with pitch to make it watertight. Ziusudra was instructed to take his family, along with all the animals and seeds needed to rebuild civilization, onto the boat. The flood lasted for 7 days and 7 nights, and when it finally receded, Ziusudra sent out a series of birds to see if the waters had subsided. The first 2 birds, a dove and a swallow, returned to the boat, but the third bird, a raven, did not return, indicating that the waters had receded and that land was once again visible. Ziusudra then gave offerings to the gods, who were pleased with his obedience and allowed him and his family to repopulate the earth. The story of the Great Flood has been interpreted in many ways over the centuries, and it continues to be a subject of fascination and speculation among scholars and laypeople alike. Some scholars believe that the story of the Great Flood was inspired by an actual flood that occurred in the region, while others see it as a purely mythological tale. Regardless of its origins, the story of the Great Flood has had a lasting impact on human culture and history. It has been retold and adapted in various forms throughout history, and it has influenced the development of religious and mythological traditions around the world. The story of the Great Flood has also been linked to the concept of renewal and rebirth, as the flood is seen as a cleansing force that washes away the old and makes way for the new. This theme of renewal and rebirth is present in many cultures and is often associated with the cycle of seasons, the changing of the tides, and the rhythms of nature. As of right now, the ancient Sumerian Great Flood is an event that has had a lasting impact on human culture and history. The story of the flood has been interpreted in many ways over the centuries, and it continues to be a subject of fascination and speculation among scholars and laypeople alike. Regardless of its origins, the story of the Great Flood has helped to shape the human understanding of the cycle of life and rebirth, and it continues to resonate with people around the world to this day. The ancient Sumerian civilization was one of the earliest civilizations in human history, dating back to the 4th millennium BCE in the region known as Mesopotamia, which is located in present-day Iraq. The Sumerians are known for their remarkable achievements in the fields of agriculture, architecture, writing, and art, and their civilization laid the foundation for many of the cultural and societal developments that would come to define the ancient Near East. One of the most remarkable aspects of Sumerian civilization was their advanced system of agriculture. The Sumerians developed innovative irrigation techniques that allowed them to cultivate crops in the fertile soil of the Tigris and Euphrates river valleys. They also developed a system of crop rotation that helped to maintain soil fertility and increase agricultural yields. This system of agriculture allowed the Sumerians to support a large population and create surplus food, which in turn led to the development of urban centers. The Sumerians were also remarkable builders, and they are known for their impressive architecture. They constructed large, complex buildings, including ziggurats, which were towering structures that served as temples and were often the tallest buildings in their cities. The Sumerians also built elaborate irrigation systems, canals, and dams, which helped to regulate the flow of water and prevent flooding. Writing was another important achievement of Sumerian civilization. The Sumerians developed one of the earliest known writing systems, known as cuneiform, which consisted of wedge-shaped marks pressed into clay tablets. This system of writing allowed for the recording of laws, business transactions, religious rituals, and other important aspects of daily life. Sumerian art is also notable for its beauty and sophistication. The Sumerians were skilled at creating intricate works of art, including pottery, jewelry, and sculptures. Many of their works of art depicted religious themes and were used in religious rituals and ceremonies. Religion played a significant role in Sumerian civilization, and the Sumerians worshipped a pantheon of gods and goddesses. These deities were believed to control various aspects of life, such as the weather and agriculture. Sumerian religion was also closely tied to the ruling class, and the kings of Sumer were often believed to be divine beings or were closely associated with the gods. Despite their decline, the legacy of the Sumerian civilization has endured. Many of their achievements and innovations have had a lasting impact on human history. For example, the Sumerian system of writing influenced the development of other writing systems, such as the Phoenician alphabet, which in turn gave rise to the Greek and Latin alphabets. The Sumerian system of agriculture also had a lasting impact on human history. Their innovative irrigation techniques and crop rotation system were adopted by other civilizations, and their methods continue to be used today. The ancient Sumerian civilization was a remarkable achievement of human history. They were innovators in the fields of agriculture, architecture, writing, and art, and their civilization laid the foundation for many of the cultural and societal developments that would come to define the ancient Near East. While their civilization declined over time, their legacy has endured, and their achievements and innovations continue to influence human history to this day. Despite their remarkable achievements, the Sumerian civilization declined over time. The reasons for this decline are complex and multifaceted, but scholars have proposed several theories as to why this once great civilization fell. One of the most significant factors in the decline of the Sumerian civilization was environmental degradation. The Sumerians lived in a region with a hot and arid climate, and they relied heavily on irrigation to cultivate crops in the fertile soil of the Tigris and Euphrates river valleys. However, over time, the irrigation systems became less effective, as the soil became increasingly saline and the water supply became depleted. This led to declining agricultural yields, food shortages, and famine. Another factor in the decline of the Sumerian civilization was internal conflict and political instability. The Sumerian city-states were frequently engaged in warfare with one another, and this constant conflict led to political instability and social unrest. The ruling elite were often consumed with maintaining their power and influence, which diverted resources away from other aspects of society, such as infrastructure and education. External invasions were also a significant factor in the decline of the Sumerian civilization. The Sumerians were frequently invaded by outside forces, including the Akkadians and the Babylonians. These invasions weakened the Sumerian state and led to the fragmentation of their civilization. Religious changes also played a role in the decline of the Sumerian civilization. As the civilization declined, new religious beliefs emerged, and the Sumerian pantheon of gods and goddesses was gradually replaced by other deities. This led to a decline in the influence of the Sumerian priests, who had played a significant role in the governance of the city-states. Despite their decline, the legacy of the Sumerian civilization has endured. Many of their achievements and innovations have had a lasting impact on human history. For example, the Sumerian system of writing influenced the development of other writing systems, such as the Phoenician alphabet, which in turn gave rise to the Greek and Latin alphabets. The Sumerian system of agriculture also had a lasting impact on human history. Their innovative irrigation techniques and crop rotation system were adopted by other civilizations, and their methods continue to be used today. As of right now, the decline of the Sumerian civilization was a complex and multifaceted process, driven by factors such as environmental degradation, internal conflict, external invasions, and religious changes. Despite their decline, the legacy of the Sumerian civilization has endured, and their achievements and innovations continue to influence human history to this day. So, What do you make of these Sumerian mysteries? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.